I stood outside the glass building on Fifth Avenue, my heart pounding so hard I thought everyone could hear it. 3 years. It had been 3 years since I'd seen Rachel Turner. 3 years since she'd looked at me with disgust and walked out of my life. Now I was about to walk into her company as the new CEO. My hands were shaking as I adjusted my tie. The expensive suit felt strange on my body, like I was wearing someone else's skin. I guess in a way, I was. The old me, the broke me, the me Rachel had laughed at, he was gone. But standing here, I felt like that guy again. Small. Worthless. The doorman held the door open. "Good morning, sir." I took a deep breath and stepped inside. The marble floors gleamed under the chandelier lights. Everything screamed money and success. My reflection stared back at me from the polished walls. I barely recognized myself. The elevator ride to the top floor felt like forever. I thought about the last time I'd seen Rachel. We were in my tiny apartment, the one with the leaky faucet and broken heater. I'd just lost my job at the warehouse. My third job that year. She sat on my worn-out couch, her designer purse looking out of place in my dump of a home. "I can't do this anymore, Jake," she'd said, not even looking at me. "Do what?" I'd asked, even though I knew. "This. Us. You." She'd waved her hand around like my whole life disgusted her. "I'm 28 years old. I work at a Fortune 500 company. I drive a BMW. And you? You can't even keep a job stocking shelves." Those words had cut deeper than any knife. The elevator dinged. 15th floor. Executive level. Time to face her. My assistant, Jennifer, met me at the elevator. She was efficient and professional, exactly what I needed. "Mr. Morrison, the executive team is waiting in the conference room. Ms. Turner is already inside." "Ms. Turner." "Rachel." I nodded, following Jennifer down the hallway. Through glass walls, I could see employees at their desks. Some glanced up, curious about the new boss. None of them knew the story. None of them knew that 3 years ago, I was eating ramen for dinner and sleeping on a mattress on the floor. After Rachel left, I'd hit rock bottom. I sat in that apartment for 2 days, just staring at the walls. Then something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to be that guy anymore. The guy people left. The guy people laughed at. I applied to business school using my last $100 for the application fee. I got into State University's MBA program on a full scholarship. Turns out, being poor and determined makes a good essay. I worked 3 jobs while studying. Slept 4 hours a night. Lived on coffee and cheap sandwiches. But I finished top of my class. Then I got lucky. Richard Chen, a tech investor, came to speak at our school. I stayed after and pitched him an idea I'd been working on. A platform that helped small businesses manage inventory. He funded it. 2 years later, we sold the company for $40 million. My cut was enough to change my life forever. But money wasn't enough. I wanted to prove something. When I heard that Turner Marketing Group was looking for a new CEO, I knew what I had to do. I bought enough shares to have a say. Then I made sure the board chose me. The conference room went silent when I walked in. 12 executives sat around the table. And there she was. Rachel. She looked exactly the same. Perfect blonde hair, expensive suit, that confident smile. Then she saw me. The smile vanished. Her face went white. "Good morning, everyone," I said, taking my seat at the head of the table. "I'm Jake Morrison, your new CEO." I watched Rachel's hand grip her pen so tight her knuckles turned white. Our eyes met. I saw confusion, shock, and something else. Fear, maybe. "I believe most of you know each other," I continued, "but Ms. Turner and I go way back." "Don't we, Rachel?" She couldn't speak. Just stared at me like she'd seen a ghost. The other executives looked between us, sensing tension but not understanding it. Shall we begin? I opened my folder. The meeting lasted 2 hours. I presented my vision for the company. Rachel sat frozen the entire time. She barely spoke, barely moved. This wasn't the confident woman who'd walked out on me. This was someone who'd just realized the world had shifted under her feet. After the meeting, I stood by the window in my new office. It was huge. Corner office with views of the entire city. My secretary buzzed. "Miss Turner is here to see you, sir. She doesn't have an appointment, but send her in." I turned from the window as Rachel entered. She closed the door behind her and just stood there. Up close, I could see she was shaking. "Jake," she finally said. "What are you doing here?" "Working. I'm the CEO. Didn't you hear?" "You know what I mean." Her voice cracked. "Why this company? Why here?" I sat on the edge of my desk, keeping my voice calm. "Why not? It's a good company. Good opportunities for growth. Don't play games with me." Rachel's shock was turning into anger. "You did this on purpose. You knew I worked here." "I did," I admitted. "I knew exactly where you worked. What position you held. How much you made. I've known for 2 years." Her face went pale again. 2 years? You've been, what? Planning this? Not planning. Just aware. I like to know where people from my past end up. Especially people who thought I'd never amount to anything. Rachel stepped closer. "That's not fair. I was what?" I stood up. "Broke? A loser? Beneath you?" "Go ahead, Rachel. Say it like you said it that night." She looked away. "I was young. I didn't mean, you meant every word." Silence filled the office. Outside, the city hummed with life. Inside, old wounds reopened. "I was cruel," Rachel finally whispered. "I know I was cruel. But Jake, you have to understand. I was under so much pressure. My parents, my job, my friends. Everyone asking when I'd settle down with someone successful. So you needed someone successful. Not someone you loved. I did love you." She looked at me with tears in her eyes. "I loved you so much it scared me. But love doesn't pay bills. Love doesn't what? Make you look good at parties? Give you the life you thought you deserved?" I shook my head. "You want to know something funny? That night you left, I wanted to die. I sat in that apartment and thought about just giving up." Rachel's hand covered her mouth. "Jake, but I didn't." "Know why?" "Because you made me realize something," I continued. "I was living small. Thinking small. Accepting scraps because I thought that's all I deserved. You leaving was the wake-up call I needed." Rachel wiped her eyes. "So this is revenge? You became successful just to, what? Show me up?" "No. I became successful because I wanted to. You were just the spark. But I won't lie, Rachel. Knowing you'd see this? That added fuel to the fire." She laughed, but it was bitter. "Well, congratulations. You won. You're the CEO. You're rich. You're everything you weren't before. Happy now?" I studied her carefully. The woman I'd loved so desperately 3 years ago. The woman whose opinion had meant everything. Now she stood in front of me, and I felt nothing. No love. No hate. Just emptiness. Actually, yes. I am happy. Rachel's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then back at me. "I should go. I have work to do." "Actually, about that." I walked behind my desk and pulled out a folder. "I've been reviewing everyone's performance. Your division's numbers are impressive. You're good at your job, Rachel. Really good. She looked suspicious. What are you saying? I'm saying you have nothing to worry about. I'm not here to fire you or make your life difficult. I'm here to run a company. I handed her the folder. This is a proposal for expanding your division. I want you to lead it. Bigger team, bigger budget, bigger opportunities. Rachel stared at the folder like it might explode. Why would you do this? Because it's good business. And because I'm not you. The words hung in the air. She flinched like I'd slapped her. I'm not going to punish you for what happened 3 years ago, I said quietly. That would make me just as small as you made me feel. I'm better than that now. Rachel's eyes filled with tears again. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve your kindness. Maybe not. But that's not the point. The point is I'm not going to let old pain make my decisions. I'm going to do what's right for this company and everyone in it. Including you. She opened the folder with shaking hands. Scanned the pages. Looked up at me with something like wonder. Jake, this is incredible. This could change everything for my career. I know. That's why I'm offering it. Rachel closed the folder and held it against her chest. I need to say something. That night, when I left you, I interrupted. We don't need to do this. Yes, we do. Rachel's voice was firm now. I need to say it. What I did was horrible. I didn't just leave you. I mocked you. I laughed at your struggles. I made you feel worthless when you were at your lowest point. There's no excuse for that. None. She took a deep breath. I've thought about that night every single day for 3 years. I've wanted to call you, to apologize, but I was too ashamed. And honestly, I thought you'd never want to hear from me again. I wouldn't have, I admitted. Not back then. But now? Now I understand something I didn't then. Hurt people hurt people. You weren't happy, Rachel. I can see that now. Happy people don't destroy others. They don't need to. Rachel nodded slowly. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. Playing a part. Trying to be someone I thought I should be. What about now? I asked. Are you happy? She considered the question for a long moment. More than I was. I'm in therapy. Working on myself. Trying to figure out who I actually am versus who I pretended to be. That's good. That's really good. I meant it. Rachel moved toward the door, then stopped. Jake? Thank you. For this opportunity. And for not being the person I was to you. You're a better person than I gave you credit for. We both are, I said. We just had to fall apart to figure it out. After she left, I stood at the window again. The city stretched out below me, full of possibilities. My phone rang. It was Richard Chen, my investor and now friend. How'd it go? He asked. Weird. Really weird. But okay, I think. You think you can work with her? I smiled. Yeah. I think I can. 6 months later, Rachel's division had grown by 40%. My leadership was turning the company around. And Rachel and we became friends. Real friends. Not the desperate, codependent thing we'd had before. Something healthier. We had coffee sometimes. Talked about work, life, growth. One day, sitting in that same office, she asked me, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I hadn't left?" Sometimes, I admitted. But then I realized I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be who you are now. Maybe we needed to break to become better. She smiled sadly. That's very wise. I had a good teacher. Pain teaches better than comfort ever could. As she left, I realized something important. This wasn't a revenge story. It was a story about becoming. About two broken people who hurt each other, then learned to heal separately. The title of CEO didn't make me better than Rachel. Working through my pain did. Choosing growth over bitterness did. Choosing to build instead of destroy did. That's the real success. Not the money or the power or the corner office, but the ability to face your past and choose kindness anyway. That's what makes you a CEO of your own life. If this story reminded you that success is the best response to those who doubted you, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below about a time you proved someone wrong. We all love comeback stories.